Good morning students, how are you all? Hope you are doing good. So in this video we are going to start our new history lesson, that is history lesson number 3. Okay. Before that I want you all to have a book and pen in front of you and note down all the important points being discussed from all the lessons. Okay students, it's a very good habit and it will be helpful in your future also. And before starting our lesson I have few questions for you. What is the name of our country students? It is India, and we call it with other different names also. They are like Bharat, Hindustan. Okay. Now I hope you all remember how these names have come for India. How did they start using? Why did we start using such names? Okay. Students, is India a small country or big country? It is a big country, right? Yes. Now will it be easy for any government to rule or take care of such a huge place? It will be difficult, right? So now in the last class, in your class 5, you have learnt about levels of government, no? So one was central government, state government and local government. Why was the 3 different levels of government required? For better taking care of the people, to see that all the needs and requirements are fulfilled of the common people. So we can say that a country will be divided into states, then states will be further divided into districts, and districts will be composed of many cities and villages. So when we are talking about cities, students, most of us now reside in cities and very few people are there who are residing in villages. Now one reason can be because of the facilities and all the things that are present in the cities today. But do you know when was the first city established in India? You want to know? So that we will be discussing in this lesson. The name of the lesson is in the earliest city, the first city that might have been established here, and what were the facilities. I hope we have learnt about this lesson, a part of this lesson in our class 5 also. Okay, before that again I want to know answer for few questions that we have dealt in our history lesson number 1. What are the rivers near which people have started settling, where they have lived in and they have made villages and they have lived for hundreds of years? So few of them are river Narmada, river Ganga and river Indus. Very good students. Now how many tributaries does Indus river have? 5 tributaries. In the last lesson I have told you a shortcut to remember the tributaries of Indus. I hope you all remember that. Now, and near which river is the earliest civilization of India found? It was near Indus river, right? So, and what is the name of the civilization? It is Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization. So in this Indus Valley civilization, the areas through which the civilization have extended, it is considered to be the earliest cities of the India. So that is our history lesson number 3. In the earliest cities. So basically we will be learning about many features related to the Indus Valley civilization. Before that students, I want to ask, do you all know that Indus Valley civilization is also known as Harappan civilization? Why do we call it as Indus Valley civilization? Because it was formed near the river Indus. Now, why do we call it as Harappan civilization? Because Harappa was the first city that was discovered. First city that was discovered. And later After Harappa, there were many more cities that have been discovered in India, and they have many features similar to the Harappa. So in totality, we call it as Harappan civilization. And the cities or the sites where we have found that the people have lived, they have existed, they have made their houses. If the features are similar to the Harappan city, we also call them as Harappan sites. All those places which are having similar features like of Harappa will come under the Harappan civilization, and they will also be called as Harappan cities. Okay. So, do you think it was easy to discover the Harappan city? No, it was very difficult, and we have a story related to the Harappa, how it was discovered, who have discovered it. You all want to know it? Yes, we will be seeing now. So we'll start the story of Harappa. How was it discovered? Who have discovered it? Okay. Now, before the discovery of Harappa, as it was the earliest city, there was an incident that took place almost about 150 years ago. Okay. What happened was, there were two brothers. Their name was John and Robert Brunton. Okay. And they both were brothers, and by profession they were engineers. They were British engineers. They were British engineers. So there was a work assigned to them, that was they have to lay the railway tracks between two places, and those two places are from Lahore to Multan. Okay, students, the place Harappa, Lahore and Multan, they are all in Pakistan today. Okay, now these two brothers or the British engineers have got the job of laying railway tracks from Lahore to Multan, and they had to lay almost about 160 kilometers. Okay, now when they were doing this work, they have accidentally saw a huge mound of bricks, and those bricks were of highly standardized quality. That means they were very strong and they were not breaking easily. So they have used, these British engineers have started using those bricks from the buildings, from the walls. What they did, they break it and they started using those bricks while laying the railway tracks. So in that way they have taken the thousands of bricks that they have laid in between Lahore to Multan, that is almost 160 kilometers. At that time they didn't knew that they are taking a very precious thing from one of the ancient civilization. Now this incident is also called or referred as biggest blunder, that means biggest mistake in the history of archaeology. In the history of archaeology. Now students, why are they calling it as the biggest blunder? As we have seen in the earlier lessons, even a small little thing is also served us as an important source of information. Archaeologists do a very hard study on them, then they provide many relatable things, relatable information to us. So in this incident, they have considered when many buildings were completely destroyed just for taking the bricks, they are thinking that they might have lost very precious information or precious heritage that have been left in that place. Suppose if those buildings were not destroyed, if they did not use those bricks for laying the railway tracks, we could have known a much more information about this civilization. We could have got many other sources of information. We got have many artifacts. Maybe we are not sure of it, but as it happened, many archaeologists and many people consider that incident, the incident of taking bricks from the buildings from Harappa, was considered as the biggest blunder in the history of archaeology. After that incident, almost about 80 years ago, archaeologist named Rai Bahadur Dayaram Sahni and Rakal Das Badopadhyay, these are the two archaeologists who have found out Harappa again. At that time, when they have those engineers have taken bricks from the Harappa, they did not understand that it's one of the ancient cities, one of the oldest cities, which was later discovered by these two archaeologists in the year 1922 AD. Then it was considered, then they have come to know that this place was the one of the oldest city in the history. Okay, now when they have come to know about this existence of the Harappa in 1922, when do you think that this city might have actually existed? It was almost about 4,700 years ago. So this civilization, these cities were so old, even though the bricks were found still the same, very standardized, very good quality, very strong, that they have used, the engineers have used for their personal purpose to fulfill their task given. Okay, so this was how the Harappan city was discovered. After this, many archaeologists from all over the country have started looking for such places. Now they have started finding many more places, like we have studied in the last year about the places like Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Kalibangan. I hope you all remember. So we are going to discuss more in detail about our Indus Valley civilization. Now Indus Valley civilization is also known as Harappan civilization. Very good. Students, now we are going to discuss about what was the special about these cities, what was the speciality. First thing, as we have already seen in our class 5, the city was divided into two parts. Okay. Now if we suppose this is the land or the ground level of a city of any place, it was divided into two parts. One was a bit higher than the other. So we can consider this was the higher part. So this higher part was called as citadel or acropolis. Okay students, and this part was called as lower town. So it was divided into two. One was citadel or acropolis, second was the lower town. Okay. Now as we can see and identify, this higher part was small in size and the lower part was large in size. And it is believed that on the citadel or acropolis, all the administrative buildings, as we see today, there is many government offices, right? So we usually find them very close to each other. All such buildings were found on the citadels close to each other. Now why were they close to each other? Today if we have to discuss something with the other person, we are having technology. We can make a call, we can make video call, we can send any document very easily. But at that time, no technology at all. So for easy communication, for not having much gap, they have located all the important buildings on citadel, government buildings on citadel, where they can communicate easily. And the lower part was for the people, where people used to live in their houses. Okay. Now as this is on height, right? This is very high. Now why was it high? So that it can be differentiated with the area where the common people are living. And secondly, how did they make it so high? With the help of the with the help of the baked bricks. So these bricks were baked so nicely that they have existed for almost thousands of years ago. Students, do we find such quality of bricks today that they don't get destroyed even after 100,000 years ago? No, no chance at all. We cannot find such bricks today. But at that time the quality was so good. Now think of the reasons why don't we find the quality of bricks that good today, that it can exist for almost thousands of years. One reason can be that people, as they want more profit, if they give more quality, then they can produce only limited one. If they are mixing up other material and the quality is getting decreased, then the number of bricks will be more. So one is the profit, the personal greed of a person. So one reason is that. Now there can be other reasons. Now you have to think of it. Then I have got a question, one more question for you. As we have seen that those brothers who were British engineers have used the buildings that they found in Harappa for laying the railway tracks. What if we destroy all the buildings for some other purpose? Now we have many historical buildings. So students, they were made with high quality. They are very standardized. That is the reason we are still able to see them. Even they have crossed. They were built almost before 100 years ago or 200 or 300 years ago, but they are still existing with the same thing. What will happen if we destroy and make new things? We will lose a very important part of our heritage. Those things we are getting as heritage from our ancestors, and we will be losing very precious things, and that is very important for a human life. So students, these are few of the sites of the Indus Valley civilization. Now here we can see this Ropar will be in the which state? It will be in Punjab. Lahore will be in Pakistan today. Harappa, Pakistan. So in Rajasthan we are having Kalibangan, Alamgirpur. In Gujarat, Lothal. Here we have Mohenjo-daro. So these are few of the sites of Indus Valley civilization. Now I want you all to do a work. Please make a note of it. Write all the sites, name of all the sites of Indus Valley civilization, and try to locate them in the map. And don't forget to write in which state or in which country they are in. As we can see, few are in India now and few are in Pakistan, and obviously the states are also differing. So this is one work which I want you all to do. So let's go about sea and other specialities of the cities. This you might be familiar with. This is Great Bath. This was found in Mohenjo-daro. So basically it is in a rectangular shape, which is also made up of fired bricks. That is nothing but baked bricks. Both are same. And it was again coated with plaster. So they have plastered it. As we can see, after arranging the bricks, we plaster it with cement. No, they have also done something similar to that. And this tank was also made waterproof by a 3 centimeter thick layer of bitumen or natural tar. Natural tar is nothing but the element which stops or blocks the water going outside. Okay, so we see many advertisements like waterproofing. So such things were already practiced and they were very much successful in it. So the other features of Great Bath are there were steps on both the sides. As you can see here, and the opposite side both had steps that took to the bottom of the tank. And around this they were having many rooms. Now there are many guessings by the archaeologists how they might have used this rooms. One might be for changing or some or the other purpose. The purpose is not so clear, but they have made some guessings. Now how do the water comes into that great bath. It was supposed, they have believed that it was brought in from a well, and after using it there was a small hole, or after using they used to drain it out. Who used it? It was maybe some important people used to dip into the tank on special occasions. This is very important, that you have to notice that only special people or important people on special occasions, not on daily purpose. Next, going to how were the bricks laid? They were laid in interlocking pattern. As you can see, all the bricks are not standing above each other. They are in, one is full, then we can see other is half here, then again full half. So this is the interlocking pattern. Why did they make an interlocking pattern? Because this will make the walls even more stronger. Hope you are pointing and writing all the important points. So they are similar to the great bath is something what we find today is swimming pool. This is the let through which water comes in, and here you can see a small hole near the pointer through which after using the water gets drained out. So the advanced things or the luxury things what we are using now was used by many people thousands of years ago, almost 4700 years ago. Other thing that was found is fire altars. So these were not found in all the places. These were found only in Kalibangan and Lothal. So other thing you have to find out in which states they are. So at that time archaeologists believed that people were very ritualistic. That means very particular about following rituals, and they believed in the worship of fire. That means there is a god who is related to fire. No, who is he? Agni Dev. Yes. So, and these fire altars were used for performing sacrifices. So the archaeologists have predicted maybe they might have been used this place for performing sacrifices. They have guessed it. Next, moving, this is the granary. Granary is nothing but usually where the excess food was stored. So now this lies to the west of the Great Bath, and this is also built on massive brick platform. Now why on a brick high platform? Because to store it and to keep it safe if floods come. Because we cannot grow the crops again and again, it will be helpful in the further time when we are not using any crops. The shape and size of the structure suggests that it might be used as have been used as a granary or storehouse. Even now we will be storing excess food, right? Yes, at that time also people were having such advanced technologies. So as the people earlier used to store the excess grain, now today we are having Food Corporation of India that stores the excess grain that can be used in terms of the natural disaster, in terms of floods or droughts whenever it occurs, so that they can give it to the people and they can use it further. So today we have learned in totality about, and we have started our new lesson that is based on the Indus Valley civilization. The points what we have discussed today were related to the story of Harappa. How was it discovered, who have discovered, and what was the incident which is referred as the biggest blunder of the archaeological history. Other things what we have discussed is how were the cities divided into two parts, what are there, which is higher, which is smaller. Now you should know it better. Next is Great Bath, which resembles a swimming pool. How was it made? What are the different features? Next is fire altars, the places where they have found and what was they used and how were the people. Next about granary, which we have just now discussed. So students, for this video that's it. Now we will be learning about the next concepts in the next video, the other features of the cities in the next video. Till then, thank you students, goodbye.